Thunderbolt! Hello my fellow YouTubers and subscribers, and welcome to my latest movie review, where today I review 101 Dalmatians 2, Patch's London Adventure, the 2002 straight-to-video sequel to the original 1960s animated 101 Dalmatians. The reason I'm reviewing this film today is, one, well, because I want to, and secondly, I recently reviewed Cruella, and I've reviewed the other 101 Dalmatians movies, so I'm planning to do a movies ranking of all of them, so it made sense to finish up the one that I hadn't done yet. So anyway, 101 Dalmatians 2, Patch's London Adventure. So the basic plot is as follows. Being one of 101 takes its toll on Patch, who doesn't feel unique. When he's accidentally left behind on moving day, he meets his idol, Thunderbolt, who enlists him on a publicity campaign. And also, adding to that, Cruella de Vil returns and enlists the help of Jasper and Horace once again, as well as an artist named Lars. And she basically wants to do the same thing as she did in the first film, which is capture the puppies and make her fur coat. So, 101 Dalmatians 2, I was pleasantly surprised by this. A lot of the straight-to-video sequels for Disney animation have tended to be rather flabby and kind of flat, and a lot of them just really aren't that good. And I realise obviously they have to work under slashed budgets and everything, but usually they're very poorly written and very badly executed. However, this one is actually one of the better ones. It's decent. Do I think it's perfect? No. Is it a classic? No. Is it as good as the original? Hell no. But it is charming, and it is cute, and it does what it set out to do, so I appreciate that. The plot is very similar to the first one in the sense of Cruella's plan. She basically wants to do the exact same thing, so there is there are elements of repetition here. I mean, you could argue it's quite random to focus on Patch, who's just one of the 101 Dalmatians, but I kind of liked Patch, actually. I thought he was rather cute, and you know, his story is you know, it's kind of interesting, even if it is a bit cliched, the whole idea that he's kind of feeling a bit out of place in his family. He doesn't just want to be one of a crowd, he wants to be individual. And yeah, we've seen this kind of story before, but I thought it was quite charmingly done. I have to say, I really liked Thunderbolt. I thought he was quite a good character, and how he's basically a fraud. He's an actor in a TV show of the same name, and he's this like super dog, and Patch is like a super fan of the show, and when he meets him, he completely idolizes him, and they have a good laugh, and he enlists him to help him regain his publicity, because the assistant of Thunderbolt, known as Lightning, wants to steal his fame and steal his thunder. No pun intended. But Thunderbolt doesn't realise this at first, and then he kind of uses Patch in a way. There's a bit of a conflict, but generally speaking, they have a good relationship, and they get on very well, and through sort of personal encouragement from Thunderbolt, Patch is able to feel a bit more special, and he ends up saving the day in the third act of the film. One criticism I would have is that I don't know if Jasper and Horace needed to be in this film. They kind of just get dragged into the film towards the end. They don't serve much of a purpose, to be honest, other than exactly the same as what they did in the first movie, which is try and capture the puppies, but be complete idiots about it. de Vil, though, is very good. I mean, the actress that voices her here is Susanne Blakeslee. I think that's how you say it, Susanne Blakeslee. And she gives a solid performance as the character, but I wouldn't say her portrayal is the best. She doesn't go as hammy as some performers, which is good. But yeah, I just don't feel her portrayal was quite as strong as some of the others. I did like the joke when she was driving her car, and then they were playing the Cruella de Vil song, and then as she's driving away, her car is basically falling apart. I thought that was quite funny. And then she enlists the help of this artist known as Lars, and I actually thought Lars was hilarious. I thought he was very funny, voiced by Martin Short, who's doing this kind of, I think it's a French accent. I think he's supposed to be French, but I'm not quite sure. And he's actually a nice guy. He actually really likes the puppies, and he's quite, you know, he's cute. He is at first on board with Cruella and decides to help her, but then he realizes what she wants to do, which is kill the puppies, and he's not for that. So he gets tied up and captured. So, but yeah, he's a rather funny character, and I do like his his appearances in the film. I guess I have to mention Bobby Lockwood as Patch. Yeah, he's pretty good. I wouldn't say he's the best kid actor in the world, but you know his vocal performance is decent, and you know all the puppies that do speak in the film have a very sort of cutesy vibe about it. So this movie keeps within the kind of cutesy tone that are these movies, the 101 Dalmatians movies. Well, obviously Cruella is the exception, but yeah. As for like Roger, Anita, and the nanny, I mean they're not really in this film that much, but you know, when they are there, they're pretty decent. And same with like Pongo and Purdy. They don't have a huge role because the film's focused on Patch, but when they're there, they're nice. And I think the actors that voice them in this are pretty good. I mean, considering they're not exactly the same cast as before. You could argue that there are probably a few too many villains in this film, like the character of Lightning. He probably didn't need to be in the film, you know, but at the same time, I suppose he was used as a plot device to get Thunderbolt out of the show and to get him in the story with Patch. They needed him as an obstacle to manipulate Thunderbolt and get him out of the way of the show so Lightning can steal his thunder. I mean, it's a very cliched story, but at the same time, you know, I get why they did it, but it's not a major hindrance on the film, but maybe Lightning wasn't entirely necessary to the film. Jason Alexander voices him, and he does a decent job. And Lightning does get his comeuppance at the end, but he doesn't seem to be that crucial. You know, to begin with, his character seems very kind of inconsequential to the main story, but whatever. The climax is fun. I like the third act when Patch helps all of them escape, and then they have the fight on the bus, which is really cool. Like, and Cruella's facing off with Patch, and Patch does the same thing as what Thunderbolt does on the TV show, where he ties her up and then he chucks her in the car and he saves his brother and puts him back on the bus. And it's a very entertaining, you know, climax. I also like the opening title sequence. That's also very good. And the music score, I also really like. It has a really nice sort of feel to it. And the stuff in the art gallery is really cool. Like, the animation is amazing. The sort of vibrant colours and everything. And the roughness of the animation, which was present in the first one, is good. Obviously, the quality's slightly better, like slightly more brighter here. But considering the budget they're on, they did a very good job at making this sequel feel like very close to the original in terms of the aesthetics of it, which I really appreciate. For me, it's just the case that the film kind of rehashes the first one to a degree. It is entertaining, it's cute, it's fun, but it's nothing special. I wouldn't go out my way to watch it again, but it has some funny moments, particularly with Lars. But as for Cruella de Vil, yeah, I mean, they give her the same story as the first one. So overall, I'm going to score 101 Dalmatians 2 Patch's London Adventure. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. It's decent fun. That's what I would say. I think kids would really enjoy it. It's a fun, easy watch. It's only 1 hour 20 minutes. It's very fun. It's enjoyable. I like it. So yeah, that's my review of 101 Dalmatians 2 Patch's London Adventure. What do you think? Please comment down below. Let me know, and stay tuned next time where I rank the 101 Dalmatians movies, which will include Cruella. Thank you very much all for watching this review. Please hit that subscribe button for more content, and stay tuned next time when I rank the 101 Dalmatians movies. So until then, I'm Mr. Tarlis11. Thank you very much for watching, and see you soon. Bye for now.